Hello, everyone. This is Mr. Sean, and we're going to do a quick hit on online relationships as we are in these last final chapters talking about relationships and the ins and outs of relationships. One of the things that constantly comes up in my interpersonal classes, as well as my intro to communication classes, is online relationships and how we are seeing an increase in online relationships. And the question becomes why? Why do you start to see, or why are we starting to see relationships start in some sort of online platform here in the year 2018? And I will take a step further and just say it's going to increase as we continue on, as we progress forward throughout our society. But you see here to the right, just several websites, both gay and straight, on here in which people are using these websites or these apps to meet people and try to get into relationships. And as we go through this quick hit, I don't want you to think of these apps as a situation in which it's just a hookup app or a hookup website. And that's the stigma, and we're going to talk about that later on. That's the stigma that some people have about these online apps and relationships. And that's not what the research is telling us. That's not what is really happening. Sure, there are people using them for those purposes, but in reality, we're starting to see an increase in online relationships solely because of these apps and these websites. As a study was recently done, I believe it was in 2016, I would have to double check, but more than 1/3 of relationships today start online. Some of you in this class right now who have probably have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, if you're in same-sex relationships, things of that nature, it's possible that you started out online or you have used some sort of online platform to have a relationship. And one of the awesome parts about these online platforms and these online apps is it's causing an increase in LGBTQ relationships. This is something that research has told us, and just even common sense has told you that LGBTQ members of our society have had issues, have had troubles trying to find people to have relationships with because there weren't a lot of places you could do that. But the advent of the app and the advent of the dating website has allowed gay and lesbian relationships to prosper, to go above and beyond what they have in the past. And the last stat I read was that 70% of gay relationships today have started online in some way, shape, form, or fashion. We're also seeing an increase in interracial relationships thanks to online dating. Now, don't take this as a direct correlation that interracial dating has increased directly because of online dating, online apps. But there has been some proof, some evidence that it has allowed interracial dating to flourish. Here in the year 2018, you're starting to see interracial couples that you never would have probably saw before because of online dating and online relationships. And then the final thing about this study, the study that was done, it was 2016. I do have to go back and double check, but the researchers surrounding this study have stated that online dating and online relationships can lead to a stronger relationship versus those relationships that just started face to face. It's maybe like a bar, a club, Starbucks, a church, things of that nature. And they say that marriages that were created because of or thanks to online dating have shown to be stronger and have shown to have a lower rate of divorce compared to those marriages that did not start online. So the question becomes why? Why is this occurring? Why is this happening? And why is it leading to the statistics that you see right on this screen here in the year 2018? There are a couple of reasons why an increase in online dating is occurring today. First things first, there's no longer a social stigma. When we talk about a stigma surrounding online dating, I would argue just even 10 years ago, if you were to meet someone online, people would kind of look at you funny, kind of look at you weird. And then just think about this, 15 years ago, when it first really started happening, to say you met someone off the internet, well, that was creepy. That was crazy. Why would you do that? And now, here in the year 2018, it's completely normal. You see dates all the time from various websites and apps, people meeting at coffee shops, at certain restaurants here in Houston, just based upon them meeting on an app, swiping left, swiping right, or just sending a message to someone. So the social stigma surrounding online dating or meeting someone from one of those apps on the previous page has pretty much evaporated. We're at the point now where it's completely normal, completely common, and I hate using the word normal, but it's completely common to do this. And I would argue that everyone listening to this quick hit, myself included, we all know of at least one person in our life who has met someone or is going on a date on someone with someone from a website or an app. One of the reasons online relationships have increased is because it just increases your probability. And what I mean by that is this. Think about it. I want you to create this vision in your head. If there were no apps, there were no websites, you would probably have to go to a certain environment to meet people. Let's say that environment is a bar, is a club, is your church, is Starbucks, HEB, Target, I don't know, the library, Barnes and Nobles, what have you. When you talk about meeting someone and your sole purpose is to find someone to date, you're really only confined to that spot. You're confined to that spot and to the people that are in that room, and then you're only confined to their connections if they were to know someone, and typically their connections tend to be similar in terms of traits and characteristics to who that particular person is. But when you go online and you look at apps and you look at websites, you can cast a wider net. And when you talk about cast a wider net, think about it. Any of those apps on the previous page, any of those websites on the previous page, any dating app or website allows you to discover people who are everywhere across the world or across the globe. You can find others based on certain characteristics, certain traits, certain hobbies, certain what they're into, if they're into sports, if they're into reading, if they're into traveling. Yes, you can still narrow them down by race, by age, by gender, things of that nature. And you're not confined to that own space. So you're essentially casting a wider probability of finding people not only in your area, but outside of your area as well. So you're being able to see thousands and thousands of possible people, which means a wider possibility and probability of gaining a match of someone that you like and that likes you as well. Not only that, the increase in online dating is helping those who typically have a hard time in the dating scene. Let's be honest, dating is hard. It's not easy. And hashtag real talk, there's a reason why some people stay in bad relationships because they don't want to get back out to dating because dating is hard. And it's hard, especially if you're maybe of a certain group or you have a certain type of personality or there's something about you that you believe is going to cause you to have an even more difficult time dating. So increase in online dating and online apps and online websites, it's helped those who have a hard time meeting people. And it's helped them because they can either jump online or jump on the app and find people that are similar to them, or what the increase in probability is allowing for, you can find people who do not care about you having maybe something wrong with you. I hate to use that phrase, but essentially you can find other people who are okay with you, who are okay with you being you, and who are okay with what you have to bring to that particular relationship. Meeting people face to face at maybe the bar or the restaurant or Starbucks or church or something along those lines, we might be hesitant to talk to those people for fear of rejection because of something about us. Whereas online, we probably lessen that fear because we haven't met that person face to face. All we see is a profile. And then finally, online, it's easier to self-disclose. And what essentially this means is we can reveal information about ourselves easier online than we can in face-to-face. You're removing those facial cues, those physical cues that we have when it comes to having to talk to someone one-on-one in a face-to-face format. And you all know what the first dates are like. They might be a little awkward. You're struggling to talk. Who's going to talk first? Are they thinking that I'm dumb or stupid? Do they think that I'm attractive? Certain things of that nature. Whereas online, you don't have to worry about all of that. Why? Because we're just chatting in some platform. You see a picture of me, I see a picture of you. That's all we need. We don't have to worry about making eye contact. We don't have to worry about things being interrupted, things of that nature. All we have to do is just chat. So online, we've already chatted so much that we've essentially already done our first date. And then when you guys finally meet face to face, it's almost as if you already know each other. So when you talk about an increase in online relationships, there are multiple reasons. There are lots of studies going on continuously about online dating and online relationships. But if you've ever wondered, why is online dating such a big thing right now? Why are lots of people doing the Tinders and Grinders and Bumbles and OkCupids and eHarmony.com? Why are so many people doing this? This is primarily a reason right on this screen. We've lessened that particular social stigma, and for lots of people, you're just casting a wider net, so you're increasing the possibility and probability that you're going to meet the person that you've always wanted to meet.